Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Daily Buzz News. Our lead story today reveals the shocking truth about suspended Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya and the criminal associates he allegedly kept close. Goodbye, General Sibiya, and goodbye to your deadly bodyguard, Stuart James Scharnick. Shadrack Sibiya, a name once synonymous with unwavering integrity, a cop who clawed his way to the top, spending decades battling South Africa's most dangerous criminals. But what happens when the hunter becomes the hunted? Today, we delve into the dramatic downfall of this former police hero, now embroiled in a web of scandal involving alleged ties to organized crime and a highly controversial relationship with his bodyguard, Stuart James Scharnick, a man with a rap sheet as long as your arm. How did Sibiya go from celebrated crime fighter to a figure shrouded in deep suspicion? Today's story uncovers layers of alleged betrayal within the highest ranks of the police force, where a man once seen as a guardian of justice now faces accusations that could end his career forever. As inquiries and investigations continue to unfold, the connections between Sibiya, organized crime networks, and figures like Scharnick paint a disturbing picture of blurred lines between law enforcement and the very criminals they are sworn to fight. Sibiya's suspension marks a dramatic fall for someone who rose through the ranks over decades, only to be linked to scandals that threaten the integrity of the entire South African police service. At the center of this turmoil stands Scharnick, a convicted offender with a long history of criminal activity, whose association with Sibiya raises serious questions about protection, influence, and power inside the system. Sibiya's suspension comes amid explosive testimony at the Madna Commission of Inquiry, where witnesses have detailed his alleged involvement with the Big Five cartel, a powerful drug trafficking network set
to answer the question of the honorable member. I think it's important to look at that sketch that we put in the statement. You are asking who are these Big Fives. We can only talk about the Big Five of those that are already arrested and they are in court. Those that have not been arrested, unfortunately, we're not in a liberty to talk about them. You will see that the Big Five on this graph are those that are marked with red on that picture on the left. So that whole group, the only names that we are making it visible here are the two names. Okay. And that's a name of a Vusmus Matlala, who is known as Cat, as well as Katiso Molefe. Both individuals have been to court, and I think you are privy to the court processes related to their cases. We have the other three that we did not reflect here. They are known. Their names are known. I must say, Honorable Chair and members, these are tenderpreneurs. These are the people that the government has been awarding tenders to. They are quite big financially. They are part of this whole lot. We did not put their names because we did not want to implicate people before they appear before court, except the others. The place that we feel comfortable to talk about it, we name the names, and the others that we're not comfortable with, we did not put the names.
To have infiltrated political circles, law enforcement, and even private security operations. This cartel, led by key figures Vimu Zikatmatala and Gatiso Molefe, has been accused of serious crimes including attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, and attempts to obstruct justice. Matala, in particular, faces charges related to violent plots against his former girlfriend, Tibik Chan, and others, with several incidents reported in Johannesburg between October 12th and 17th, 2023. His co-accused include his wife, Tagani Matlala, and Tabasanzama Mizana, also known as Floyd Mabisela, all tied to the April 2024 killing of QC engineer Amonswart in Thobunchu. These connections reveal how the cartel extended its reach into multiple sectors, using companies like CAT VIP Protection Services to supply surveillance tools, tactical equipment, and assistance to entities such as the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department. The Madna Commission of Inquiry has been investigating these issues following claims by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Lamlam Kwanatsi, who, in a July 6, 2025 press conference, accused senior officials of conspiring to block investigations into major criminal syndicates. Mkhwanatsi identified Sibiya as a central figure in efforts to disrupt the Political Killings Task Team, or PKTT, a specialized unit formed 6 years ago to tackle politically motivated killings. On March 26, 2025, a total of 121 case files were reportedly removed from the PKTT under Sibiya's orders and archived in Pretoria. 5 of those files contained instructions.
The Minister of Police invited and facilitated the peace talk between myself, the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, and the Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Sibiya, in his office, in his house, State House, official residence in Pretoria. The purpose of this invitation was to try and create peace between myself and the Deputy National Commissioner. The Minister of Police felt that he must make me and General Sibiya to find peace. Surely, there can never be peace between a criminal and the police officer.
Let's go page by page and confirm the allegations that he just spoke about. You can come to me. I can take you to the people that he says will have that information. Let's go pounds for pounds and look into the evidence of what he's talking about. You will see that he's just excited. What he's saying is...
He sounds like, General, he sounds like a very aggrieved man. Before I let you go, are you a criminal? He's referred to you. He said in that meeting that the police minister had organized at his premises. You didn't say anything in that meeting, and he basically said there can basically be no peace between a police officer and a criminal. That seems to have been suggested that you are a criminal?
No, Cressida, I'm 37 years in this field. I've been doing this job, and many people, all the provinces know me. I've done my job throughout the country. I've served the people of South Africa, and there are big cases that I can point you out, including the AKA that you're talking about. I'm the one who was pushing it.
For immediate arrests, yet none were ever actioned. This move allegedly bypassed the authority of National Police Commissioner Fanny Masemola and Mkhwanatsi himself, leaving crucial investigations frozen. Mkhwanatsi has described all of this as part of a far wider conspiracy involving politicians, senior police officers, and prosecutors, all linked to a national criminal syndicate that the PKTT had been closing in on. Adding to the intrigue, testimonies before the commission revealed how the Big Five cartel allegedly paid bribes to secure protection from investigations. A protected witness, known only as Witness C, described how Matala made monthly payments to Sibiya, sometimes reaching 1 million rand, including a once-off 2 million rand payment used to buy land and 20 impalas, which later died. These payments were allegedly made in exchange for shielding Matala from police action. But when Sibiya failed to prevent raids on Matala's properties in December 2024, tensions exploded. Matala, arrested on May 14, 2025, at the Boksburg police station for attempted murder, expressed frustration during interviews, claiming Sibiya had promised to block further police operations, but failed to deliver. Matala even referred to Sibiya as the pitbull, implying that crossing him could have severe consequences. He also spoke of plans to file an affidavit in the High Court revealing alleged incriminating information about former police minister Sensom Thembu, whose contract with Matala's company was supposedly cancelled after Matala refused to open a case against investigating officers. Crime Intelligence Head Lieutenant General Dumisani Cumulo provided further evidence in the form of WhatsApp messages showing the cartel's infiltration into law enforcement. Cumulo identified Matala and Molef as
through Sergeant Kosi, that is linking the office of Lieutenant General Sibiya and the cartel. Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. And who is the person that we can see in the video that's exiting the white BMW?
The person that we see exiting the white BMW is a Sergeant Nkosi.
Okay, so that's...
He just arrived in the premises of Katisomulif on the 27th of November. So the vehicle that is projected there on the video, I think we are still going to see it much closer. It is the vehicle, it is an SAPS vehicle that is allocated to the office of the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Sibiya. So that is the first link that one will explain with that. Thank you, Commissioners. This part of the video, maybe if we can check the time, Mr. Sergeant Kosi did not spend much time there. It was less than 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, the timestamp says 16:40, and the previous video was 16:31, so it's about 9 minutes.
Yeah. And then we noticed that when he was arriving, he did not have any bag with. So now this second video is showing, okay, maybe standing there, it's him and Mr. Katiso Mulife, who is then accompanying his visitor back to his car. And then we notice that the sergeant is now carrying a white paper bag. Unfortunately for us, it's not transparent, so as we can see what type of chocolate is in there. But he is having a bag that does not look like it's heavy, but it has got some contents. Then we'll use lots of analytical minds to check what is it that you can carry in such a carrier bag with value, but it's not that heavy. As then the picture is like he just came in to collect something that was already packed and waiting for pickup.
Key figures and syndicates specializing in crimes ranging from drug trafficking to vehicle-related offenses. He also highlighted Sergeant Fanning Ngosi, a detective in Sibiya's office who allegedly acted as an intermediary, facilitating communications and handling payments. CCTV footage presented to the Commission showed Ngosi arriving at Molef's Sandhurst home in a state-owned vehicle and leaving minutes later with a white bag, strongly suggesting exchanges linked to cartel activities. Cumulo also testified about a stalemate over filling key crime intelligence posts, which came just before Mkwanatsi's December 31, 2024 directive to freeze vacancies and disband the PKTD. The directive emerged amid ongoing disputes between Sibiya and Cumulo over appointment panels, raising suspicions of deliberate obstruction. The Commission further scrutinized unlawful agreements, including a memorandum of understanding between the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department and Matala's VIP Protection Services. Suspended Metro Police Chief Jabulani Isaac Meyer testified on November 6 that the deal allowed Matala's firm to conduct investigative activities, despite having no legal authority to do so. Meyer stressed that Metro Police are not allowed to operate investigations, making the partnership illegal, a clear example of criminal networks embedding themselves in official structures. Turning to Sibiya's personal history, his career spans nearly 4 decades, beginning in 1989 as a student constable at the Hammanskraal Police Academy. He rose through detective ranks and later headed the Hawks in Gauteng, focusing on commercial crimes. A major setback came in 2015 when he was dismissed by Major General Burning Tlamiza over allegations related to the 2010 rendition of Zimbabwean suspects. Sibiya appealed, claiming it was a conspiracy tied to his investigations into former crime intelligence boss Lieutenant General Richard Ndluli. Ndluli, along with Heine Barnard and Solomon Lazarus, is accused of looting the Crime Intelligence Secret Services account between 2008 and 2012, with their trial finally beginning in May 2025 after 13 years of delays. Sibiya won his appeal in the labor court, leading to his reinstatement on May 12, 2022, effective July 1st. He went on to head forensic investigations for the city of Johannesburg, where he led anti-corruption efforts, but faced allegations of political interference and irregular procurement of spy equipment.
To invite the Commission to understand perhaps the background of Shadrack Sibiya, his arrival in the police, and his responsibility as a person appointed as a Deputy National Commissioner in the police. What I know of is that Shadrack Sibiya was appointed as a Lieutenant General, promoted to Lieutenant General in the police in July 2022. And I said earlier, the post of a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, it's a heartbeat of the South African Police Service. That is where, according to the structure of the police, the organogram, that is where crime intelligence accounts, that is where investigations account, and that is where forensic accounts. So Shadrack Sibiya was afforded that opportunity in July 2022 to be appointed as a Deputy National Commissioner occupying this position. I know that there was this warning before he comes in. What becomes strange to me is that first he becomes a Major General at Detective Service, and a year later he gets promoted. Now he's promoted to the heartbeat of the police, so he's no longer responsible for organized crime alone. He's now responsible for the entire investigation, including crime intelligence, including forensic. Well, the National Commission has got powers to appoint. It's just strange that the same organization dismissed this man. A year later, when he applies to court, the same organization doesn't appeal, doesn't file papers to oppose that court process, and the same organization brings him back and promotes him a year later. I don't know what he has done on his performance agreement that was so exceptional on this term when he comes back, despite this warning that justified this promotion. His arrival in the organization was a concern. That should have been a concern for everyone. But it looks like the organization somehow did not take that serious, hence they placed him in that position.
In 2023, he returned to SAPS and was promoted to Lieutenant General as Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, overseeing specialized units, task teams, and intelligence operations. Yet today, his role has become the center of scrutiny, with accusations that he interfered with the PKTT to protect cartel interests. One of the most damning parts of this story is the link between Shadrack Sibiya and his alleged bodyguard, Stuart James Scharnick, a convicted criminal with deep connections to organized crime. Police in KwaZulu-Natal have linked Scharnick to 29 criminal cases, mostly involving vehicle theft and hijackings. These cases span multiple stations, including Tongaat, Sydenham, Pinetown, Durban North, Malvern, Howick, Hillcrest, and Brighton Beach. Many of the dockets were later centralized under the Hawks Serious Organized Crime Unit. Investigators found clear patterns of syndicate activity, including stolen vehicles being sold through scrapyards, illegal police clearances, and questionable registrations. 10 of these dockets were eventually merged into one case, resulting in a plea agreement. Scharnick walked away with a 5-year suspended sentence and a 150,000 rand fine, payable over 5 years. 8 other cases involve hijackings and additional charges, such as malicious damage to property and firing a gun in public. These, however, ended in withdrawals, not guilty findings or victims changing their statements. But perhaps the most shocking revelation came later. Investigators discovered that Scharnick's criminal record was manipulated inside the SAP system. On January 16, 2025, at exactly 4:58 p.m., a SAP
It's correct. That's why I'm taking it. No, it's correct. You can't leave a firearm in the car. But you're correct. You can't leave a firearm in the car. You're correct. It's correct. You can't leave a firearm in the car. This correct. You said you can't leave a fireman in the car.
I am the police officer.
I understand. I am understanding. I came from the court. I came from the station.
Why are you asking me why I'm coming with the firearm?
Really?
Why are you asking me why I'm coming with the firearm?
Okay, can you say
You are a police officer.
I'm not allowed to ask you why you're coming with the firearm.
Yeah, you are a
When
police
you
officer.
dress as traffic.
I'm a police officer.
I'm not allowed to ask
I
you.
am a police officer.
I'm not allowed to ask you.
No, you are not.
Anybody is allowed to ask you. I'm a civilian. How can I not ask you?
Police officer.
I can't ask you why you're carrying a firearm.
You can't.
A rifle.
It's obvious. For what? I'm a police officer. You can't. You can't.
Gone to the municipality, gone to the court, and we started at the station.
You know where the problem is.
It's the problem, but even when you're coming with it, it's like you're fighting.
I came to that guy. No, we're not fighting. I came to that guy.
Everyone knows about the whole issue. It's like we're fighting with you about something that we own, because they don't want to pay us.
You're the one who's fighting. Because I said those guys must stop before we see what's going on.
Employee deleted entries from the National Criminal Record System, but they failed to remove them from the audit trail, exposing the tampering. This manipulation made Scharnick appear to have a clean record, allowing him to apply for firearm licenses. He currently owns 5 firearms, with a 6th license approved in February 2023, despite previous rejections due to missing competency certificates. Social media clips even show him brandishing a rifle while appearing to conduct security work. Police are now investigating how he obtained these permits and whether SAP's staff facilitated the cover-up. The National Prosecuting Authority is reviewing the dockets to determine whether plea deals, withdrawals, and unenrolled cases were properly handled or whether prosecutors may have been influenced. General Sibiya, for his part, strongly denies any involvement in deleting Scharnick's criminal records. He claims that internal SAP's factions, especially within the PKTT, manipulated the system to sabotage him and block his possible promotion to National Police Commissioner. He insists his 37-year career speaks for itself and says he welcomes any investigation that could clear his name. In his appearance before a parliamentary ad hoc committee on October 14, 2025, Sibiya rejected all corruption allegations, accusing his opponents of playing with public emotions in a coordinated attack. He also denied links to ANC businessman Brown Kotze, a known information broker with ties to senior political players. Scharnick himself has pushed back, filing charges against General Cumulo for perjury and defeating the ends of justice. He argues that the testimonies damaged his reputation and endangered his family. He maintains he has no hijacking convictions and points to clean records obtained from the local criminal record center. But police reports tell a different story. 18 convictions, 5 acquittals, 11 withdrawals, from a total of 34 charges examined at the Commission. These patterns strongly suggest organized crime facilitation, with recurring names, recurring methods, and recurring protection. The link between Sibiya and Scharnick becomes even more concerning when connected to the testimony of Vimu Matala, a cartel leader who claimed he feared for his life after turning against Sibiya and former Minister Mnu. During his arrest interview, Matala told investigators he continued cooperating out of fear, believing that if he betrayed Sibiya, the pit bull, he could be killed. He said he paid large sums of money but received no real protection in return. This fear echoed in audio clips played at the Commission, where Matala spoke openly about exposing high-ranking officials in affidavits he intended to file. The Madna Commission continues to hear explosive testimony about political interference, police corruption, and the infiltration of state structures by powerful criminal networks. General Sibiya's suspension stems directly from allegations of interference, a dramatic twist where a top enforcer of accountability is now under intense scrutiny himself. As more evidence surfaces, this scandal exposes how deeply organized crime has penetrated law enforcement and how fragile the line between justice and corruption has become. Public reaction remains divided. Some believe Sibiya is a victim of internal sabotage. Others say transparency is urgently needed to restore faith in SAPs. For now, his suspension marks a possible end to his once influential career and Scharnick's exposed criminal history highlights the dangers of these hidden alliances. Thanks for watching. Comment below.